200, 214, 225. It seems to be a Model Y dual motor. That's 190. Hard on the brakes. We are pulling 220 kilowatts, which is the maximum. Good morning and welcome back to Simply Gregster EV. We are just in the parking garage underneath Cologne Cathedral with our beautiful Macan 4 that we picked up from Sixt. Major upgrade we got. Took it up to Hilden from Frankfurt yesterday and it performed beautifully. So this is the Macan 4. This is somewhat of a mid-range model on here, but still pretty quick. Tops out 230 kilometers an hour on the Autobahn. Unfortunately, it's still on winter tires. I don't know why they gave me one on winter tires, but an absolute charging monster. Today we're heading down to Ludwigsburg or Stuttgart, and we're going to see how it actually does on a long road trip like that, but also proper driving speeds on the Autobahn. We'll just have another look over here. Yeah, pretty cool inside the Macan now, and it's beautiful. We'll do a full review on this shortly. So we're sitting at 80% state of charge. The battery temperature is actually at 20 Celsius. You can tell this is a proper Autobahn machine when it starts giving you battery temp. So Laura's just putting into the sat nav now where we're going, but there's no signal. But I think we're going to escape this parking garage and we'll go to the Ausgang and we shall get out of here and on the road. First we have to battle leaving the city center. And it sounds pretty cool outside. It sounds really cool. It sounds like a UFO spaceship, actually. Trying to escape Cologne here. That was interesting. Anyways, 349 kilometers, 3 hours, 19 minutes. We'll probably do it faster than that. Where are we going to? Ludwigsburg? Or?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We'll go to the palace in Ludwigsburg as we try to maintain the speed limit here. I don't feel like getting another speeding ticket as we did last year in France. That was 90 euro or something it cost. Yeah, that kind of sucked and a giant waste of money. So respect the speed limits here because there are a ton of speed cameras around. So we'll catch back up once we get onto an Autobahn and get out of here, out of this more urban city area, but really nice city. I wish we had more time here, but this is a proper Simply Gregster EV road trip where you're in the car pretty much the entire time. Although every time we come here, we say we're not going to drive for 6 hours. And we're finally out on the open Autobahn now, where we could put my foot in it until the next construction zone or the next car going 90 kilometers an hour. Although I have to say, while I do like the Macan, the wind noise in here is apocalyptic. I cannot believe how loud it is inside. And I know we got winter tires on it, but that's not the issue. It's just a lot of wind noise around the seals. But this is a good day to drive in Germany. I think tomorrow, Sunday, will be even better as traffic is going to be very light. But this is why I love coming to Germany. Friday was a bit annoying, but today is awesome as we slow down in this 120 zone. That's something I've noticed more, is that these speed zones are becoming more and more frequent, which is kind of annoying. Anyways, that was fun. We'll continue driving here and we'll do some more Autobahn blasting for you. We're still about 300 kilometers away, so I'm expecting a charging session with all this Autobahn blasting, so it should be fun. We'll see you soon. Foot back into it. That's 180, 190, 200. And we got to get back on the brakes. You got to be ready to use the brakes here in Germany. Laura doesn't like it when I brake at the last moment like that, but at least people do get out of the way. Foot back into it. $200, 214, 225. That's on the speed limiter, and we got to be on the brakes now. Very hard. It does have good brakes because it's a Porsche at the end of the day. Unfortunately, you can't drive like that all day. Your mental concentration will be destroyed. But I don't think Laura's very happy right now with all the with all the braking. And traffic levels aren't too bad. We're 229 kilometers from our destination, but Having a good time here in Germany. Everything is good except for this horrendous wind noise at 175 kilometers an hour. But this is what I come to Germany for. This is why we love coming here. Beautiful country, great place to drive when there's no traffic jams, and just a lot of fun. And the drivers seem to be better today. I'd face the camera more, but you have to look as far ahead as possible because you're just covering so much ground so quickly, where you got to be thinking, okay, that person in front might be passing you. I have to slow down for this guy here. But all good over here. We'll check in shortly. Actually, we'll probably check in at the rest stop or a charging stop at this rate. We're 42% state of charge. Batteries at 30 degrees Celsius. Just arrived at our first charging stop. 300 kilowatt LP-tronic NMBV. We are pulling 220 kilowatts, which is the maximum that the dispenser said that it would be outputting, because there's a Hyundai Ioniq charging next to us, but still not bad. I'll take that power. We arrived 25% state of charge. Pretty awesome. We'll be here for about 10 minutes before we get out of here. But this is your typical German rest area here. This is what it looks like. Time to get back on the road from this charging stop. This Macan is an absolute road tripping beast. It was cool because I found out that you could actually pre-cool the battery before you arrive at the charger in case it is too hot. That's awesome. You can tell that this was built for the Autobahn. We rolled up 25% state of charge. We put in up to 62% state of charge in about 12 minutes. I really want to get this down to like 3 or 4% state of charge and just let it rip to see what it could actually pull. But yeah, solid road tripper here. Battery temperature is at 45 Celsius. And we'll be getting back on to the Autobahn here for more Autobahn blasting. And I think the traffic is actually starting to thin out as well. Here we go, more Autobahn blasting. And this thing could definitely take it. It could take the charging, it could take the high speeds, it can take the heat. Absolutely amazing what Porsche has engineered. I'm so happy that we got to get one of these on the channel in its natural habitat as well, not just driving around the suburbs. So I think we're about 170 kilometers from Ludwigsburg as we're braking hard again. Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks is the traffic. Oh well, all good in the Macan EV. Trying to have a good run here with this Model Y. Here we go. Seems to be a Model Y dual motor. That's 190. Hard on the brakes for this one, but he was definitely going for it. He was definitely going for it. This is pretty wild. The Macan is the Model Y is direct competition, although much more expensive. I'm going to try to give commentary while driving, but it's a lot more difficult than it looks, and I don't want to get too close to him. And there's some traffic coming up over here. We're doing about 160, 170 kph. Proper units of measurement, and hard on the brakes over here. But that was pretty fun. I think that was pretty fun. You can't do that back at home, that's for sure. Although I don't know if I got any speeding tickets here or not this time. Hopefully no. Well, welcome to Germany. This is what it's all about. And now we're back down. Now we're back down to 100 kilometers an hour. What is that Saab doing up front? We're at a Autobahn services now. We stopped to get some lunch, but also at the same time, I figured while we're here, we'll do a little charge up. I just have to get parked in here. It's not that it's tight. I keep forgetting which side the charge port is on as I drive so many EVs and they're never in the same spot. So we'll just back up here. So now we'll get plugged in at this rest stop. 36% state of charge. Battery temp is 35 Celsius. I don't really think we need to charge, to be honest with you. It's just, as I said, we stopped here. We stopped at this Autobahn rest area in Sinsheim, the museum with the TU-144 and Concorde is just there. So we'll get plugged in here while we get something to eat. I think I got some currywurst. We'll go to language, English, that although I do read German, just make it easier for you. Which CCS is available? It says one's unavailable and one's available. So, well, we'll have to take this one. Charge map card, although I suspect it's not going to be cheap here, but it's better than nothing. So the Macan has been holding up excellent. Like, it's so solid. I still can't believe we ended up renting this. I've always wanted to do something crazy here in Germany with an interesting car, and this is interesting. 800 volt architecture, 270 kilowatt hour peak, 100 kilowatt hour battery. It might not be the fastest, it might not top out at 260, 280 on the Autobahn, but it's just an overall awesome car to drive. Absolutely awesome to drive. Let's see what our power delivery here is going to be. Alpitronic, so it works. Ramping up nicely over here. We should get, I would say 190 kilowatts maybe. No, it's still going. 170, 183, 200, 202. Yeah, it's gonna stop around there because we're at a pretty high state of charge. But what's cool about the Alpitronic units is they actually show you what's going on. 294 amps, 686 volts, pulling, averaging, it says average here 133. We've already put 1.5 kilowatt hours in. So all is good here with the Macan. I will maybe even try to clean the windscreen on it because it's just so dirty, and all the cooling fans are going off. It's 22 degrees outside. Very nice. Awesome car to be driving, and the cooling fans are on. I'm gonna go get our food. My wife is somewhere with the food. We'll get charged up here and we'll be back on our way to Ludwigsburg, Stuttgart. We're about 100 kilometers away from there. Time to get unplugged here. Actually, it's on this side. I keep forgetting that. Well, we'll stop the charge and get back on the road because we have things to do. We ended up getting some food here, so it's all not that bad here. Stop, tap the card. It's going to stop, and it's going to ask you to click. Is this one going to ask you to stop? No, it stopped already. So we did 51 kilowatt hours, 100 at average speed 116.3 kilowatts, 26 minutes, 36% to 88%. And as I said, we've already decided to stop for food because we were getting very hungry, and I had some pretty good currywurst. Rest stops in Germany, they are not cheap. Rest stops in Germany are not cheap, but they are good, and we have a couple Alpitronic hyperchargers here. We'll get back on the road and we will continue this trip. I wonder how hot that battery is. Weirdly enough, it doesn't have comfort access, and I just accidentally opened the frunk. We'll close. We have to really slam it down. We'll get back in here and we'll see what we are at. 40 Celsius on battery temp. Well, that's actually not bad. All the fans were going off. All right, time to get back on the road and go to Ludwigsburg. We've made it to Heidelberg. We've driven 5 hours, 16 minutes today, 444.5 kilometers. Average consumption 23.7 kilowatt hours per 100, which actually isn't bad. But on the way back from Ludwigsburg, we took a more of a country road, more of a scenic route. 52% state of charge. I'm not going to plug in here at the hotel because I want to blast this thing down to like 5% and do a proper charge test on it when we head back to Frankfurt. Let's go get checked in here at the hotel. And now one of the best parts of the Macan, it has a proper frunk, but it has one fault with the frunk. Hold on, just get my bag to lower out. Careful, it's very heavy. You really, the struts on, so it's aluminum, or no, it's definitely aluminum, and the struts are really tough, strong. So you really have to slam it and try not to dent the frunk lid at the same time. We'll go get checked in at the hotel now. Ooh, an Arteon. And we have the, always interesting wagons here in these European car parks. We'll lock that up. That's all locked. Yeah, definitely interesting stuff here. Look, Mazda 6 wagon. They don't even sell those at home anymore. Welcome to Heidelberg, Germany. That was a fun drive today. That was a lot of Autobahn blasting, a lot of good charging, and Ludwigsburg was absolutely beautiful. Maybe I'll upload a video or some photos. I didn't feel like filming there because I just wanted to get away from the camera for a bit and some of the content creation and just enjoy the town with Laura. But we're here in Heidelberg now. We're heading up to Frankfurt tomorrow. And I got something really special in Frankfurt, booked hotel-wise, and we may do another car if that works out. Anyways, that's gonna be it for tonight.